Wait, I just heard about the news that South Africa is mad at us for having a Zulu Ball parade. How y'all mad that we got a Zulu Ball parade and we celebrate our African history here? What y'all mad about? That we got the name Zulu here too?
South Africans, y'all okay? Ain't nobody even on here arguing with y'all because it didn't give what y'all thought it was giving. But I see y'all just wanted to jump on the bandwagon. First it was the Black Brits. Now it's y'all making fun of slavery. Okay. Then I see the Caribbean people laughing. We're in the same boat, but okay. I never knew you could culturally appropriate from other Black people when you Black. I never knew that. But the New Orleans parade, Zulu been going on forever. And it's not to mock no South African Zulu. It's not even the same.
Now, have a look at this image and tell me, why do you think exactly the Zulus in South Africa are offended by what they're seeing? If you don't understand why they may be offended, I'll give you an image from a Belgian tradition called Black Pete. Have a look. This is Black Pete, a Belgian tradition where white people paint themselves black and have red lips, afros, and so on. Now, according to them, this is their tradition. It's not meant to be offensive to black people, and it's their way of celebrating Christmas and so on. Now, whether you're Black African or Black American, when you take a look at this, how do you feel? Do you think this is okay? If yes, then fair enough. But if no, then you should understand why the Zulus are offended.
This is what Zulu people look like, apparently, according to African Americans, or at least some African Americans. That's why there's this big row going on social media between African Americans and Black South Africans, particularly Zulu people. And it's because of this parade.
I am defending the Zulu people in the wrongful depiction of them in this New Orleans parade. There are a lot of literature on the Zulu people, and Google's also free. So when you're looking at images of the Zulu people, they are not in a paint base of any sort like that. So I don't understand where painting your face black is representing the Zulu people. And they don't understand that either.
We have Zulu people, actual Zulu people, 10, 11 million Zulu people in South Africa, and they are outraged because understandably, it's not a true reflection or depiction of their culture. African Americans, the very same people who complained when Tyler referred to herself as a colored woman, are not backing down. They're saying this tradition is not going anywhere. It is here to stay.
So there's this back and forth online between South Africans, mostly Zulu people, and Black Americans over the New Orleans Zulu Parade. And honestly, I feel like this conversation needs to be had, not with arrogance or ego, but with understanding, respect, and love. Because this situation is exposing something bigger, something deeper about how we as Black people from different parts of the world relate to one another. And unfortunately, right now, what we are seeing is more division than unity. South Africans, especially those who are part of the Zulu culture, are saying they feel mocked. They are angry, and I understand where they're coming from. They see this parade where people are painting their faces black, wearing grass skirts, and claiming it's about celebrating Zulu culture. And they're like, wait a minute, that's not how we look. That is not how we dress. That is not how our tradition go. They feel disrespected. They feel like their identity is being used for entertainment in a way that strips it of its dignity and meaning.
This parade was created because the Mardi Gras parades were segregated. So now I'm understanding that this is the parade for Black people, and this caricature of the Africans was what was accepted and likely the only reference point. Also, something doesn't sit right with me because I just feel like white people allowed that parade because they thought it was funny to see Black people be their own walking joke with the blackface because they already see us as that caricature. So like, I truly hate seeing diaspora wars, but it's a lack of compassion on both ends. While people are out here calling the Africans uneducated, looking at the Zulu parade, it's looking hella ignorant. And it comes down to perhaps changing the name because, you know, you're using the name Zulu. The Zulu people are saying they don't like it. It's offensive. and you're standing your ground saying, I'm going to do what I want. And I just don't understand how that's different than other groups of people being prejudiced. You know, people said they didn't like to be called American Indian. We got more into using the terms indigenous. I went to a school where it was named after a Confederate soldier. We finally got the name changed. And I don't understand why you can't grow with the times and be compassionate and accept that what you did in the past or the terms you are using are racist or wrong. You need to listen and stop being so hard-headed because you got us looking like fools across continents.
Can someone explain to me why a New Orleans parade is called Zulu when it has definitely nothing to do with the original Zulu people? Okay, so every year in New Orleans there's a big party, there's a huge party called Mardi Gras. And one of the biggest parades was started by the Zulu Social Aid and Pleasure Club. For those who don't know, this is pretty much when people from New Orleans wear beads, paint their faces, throw coconuts. But here is where it gets awkward. It was started 100 years ago, like a comedy skit. Pretty much like a joke, but with no history and no heritage. But guess who's not laughing? The African Zulus from South Africa. To my American people who have never seen an angry Zulu, meet Ushanga. This is how they look like live and direct. So the question is, should South Africans mock their fried chicken or their cornbread, or this parade should change its name? Or all of this is just a misunderstanding? But anyway, drop a comment and let me know what you would do if it was your culture.
And here's the thing, when someone tells you that what you're doing is disrespectful to their culture, the decent thing to do is listen, even if you didn't mean to offend them, even if you thought you're honoring them. If the people from that culture are saying, we don't like this, it's wrong, it's painful to see, then it's time to pause. It's time to reflect, not defend, not mock them in return, just listen. But unfortunately, what we are seeing from some Black Americans is arrogance. Instead of trying to understand why South Africans are offended, some are saying, we have African roots too. We can do whatever we want. You don't own culture. And I'm like, really? That's your response to people telling you they feel mocked? Let's flip it. Let's say it was a group of white people in another country painting their faces black, dressing like stereotypical gangsters, saying they are honoring Black American culture. Let's say they said, we love hip hop. We love Black culture. We are just celebrating. Would Black Americans accept that? Or would they call it what it is? Mockery? Cultural appropriation? Disrespect? So if we can feel offended when others do it to us, why can't we understand when others feel offended when we do it to them? This is where I think we need to talk honestly about cultural sensitivity and accountability. Just because we are all Black doesn't mean we automatically understand each other's culture. And just because someone is Black doesn't mean they can't be culturally sensitive. Cultural appropriation can happen within the Black community too. Yes, we are connected by shared history. Yes, we are all African in origin, but that doesn't give us free rein to do whatever we want with other people's traditions.
Alright, this is my 2 cents about the whole Zulu parade in New Orleans and the Zulu Nation, the South Africans going back and forth. I'm gonna be 100% honest. First of all, y'all not gonna put us all in the same fucking boat, okay? Them New Orleans niggas is different. They their own people, okay? Alright, so we not gonna put all Black Americans in this shit, okay? I've never been to New Orleans. I've never been to Bourbon Street. I've never been down there, so I don't even know what the fuck was going on until I actually went and looked. I do know about the Zulu Nation, everything that takes place over there, because I've been trying to appropriate myself with the culture. To see the New Orleans shit, bruh, y'all got to be fucking kidding me. That shit look like a clown show. That shit look like a mockery. That shit like some shit they made y'all do when y'all was in slavery to put on a fucking show for them. That shit ain't appropriate, and I side with the South Africans on this one.
I just wanted to say that I know that Nelson Mandela, Winnie Mandela, O.R. Tambo, Desmond Tutu, and all the South African political activists of yesteryear are rolling over in their graves right now. this whole discourse about the Zulu parade in Louisiana is insane. The way that South Africans are getting on this app talking about Black Americans being our ancestors being enslaved and how they had rights in their hair, just making a mockery of it. Like, I'm so disappointed given the history of South Africa. Remember, there was a movie in the 90s called Serafina, which basically was a movie based around what was going on in South Africa, like during that period of time, the apartheid and how they were forced to learn Afrikaans, all the things. And y'all have the nerves to get on this app and make fun of us for basically the same things that your ancestors went through. It's crazy. Please stop. I love y'all though, but y'all got to stop.
I don't have too much to say on this Zulu shit. And yes, like I said, I bring that Twitter drama to TikTok because y'all need to hear that shit. I feel like there's too much of a disconnect with all the same owners. If we all got the same owners or the same apps, why we not connected on the beef? Oh, okay. Like I said, I don't have too much to say about it. I personally am not from New Orleans. I have heard of the Zulu parades. I have seen pictures before and I was confused as a child. Did not know the history. Looked it up per usual, But what I will say, I'm about to start these fucking diaspora wars back the fuck up. Telling Black Americans to pick cotton and to any other diminishing type of white supremacist phrase, whatever you want to call it. Follow me. Keep following. You look like me. We are the same. They don't see you as something exotic, something fun, something cutesy. They see you as a nigga. We are niggas. Nigga here, nigga there, nigga everywhere. You're no different.
The Zulu people have a rich, powerful history. They are not costumes. They are not caricatures. They are real people with real practices and real pride in who they are. And what hurts even more is that the people doing the mocking, or what they feels like mocking, are not white this time. It's their own brothers and sisters. It's fellow Black people. That is the real tragedy here. This should be a moment of unity, a moment where Black Americans say, wait, we didn't know this was offensive. Thank you for educating us. Let's do better. Let's honor you properly, because isn't that what solidarity looks like? Isn't that what reconnecting with our roots is supposed to be about? Instead, it's become a shouting match, a fight, a power struggle. And you know who benefits from that? Not us, not Black people. The ones who benefit are the ones who always benefit when Black people are divided. Whether it's in America, in Africa, in the Caribbean, in Europe, wherever. Divide and conquer has always been the game. It hurts me to see Zulu people being mocked for speaking up. It hurts me to see Black Americans acting like they know more about Zulu culture than Zulu people themselves. That's not unity. That's not Pan-Africanism. That's ego. And let me be clear, I'm not saying all Black Americans are doing this. There are many who are listening, many who want to learn, many who are willing to correct the mistakes of the past. But we have to acknowledge the tone that's dominating the conversation right now. And it's not one of the humility, it's one of the entitlement. We can say we want to connect to Africa and then ignore African voices when they speak. We can say we want to embrace our roots and then turn around and disrespect the very people whose roots we claim to honor. That's not cultural pride. That is performative. That is shallow. And to my South African brothers and sisters, I hear you. I see your frustration. I see your anger. And I hope this moment doesn't make you give up on the diaspora. I hope it doesn't make you close your heart to Black Americans, because this disconnect doesn't represent all of us. There are many who truly want to build bridges, not walls. There are many who understand that cultural respect is the foundation of any real connection. But let's also remember, this moment can be a teaching moment, an opportunity for growth, an opportunity for Black people across the world to look at how we engage with each other's culture, to reflect, to learn, and to change. Because the truth is, we need each other. We are stronger together, but unity isn't just about music and fashion and shared skin color. It's about respect. It's about accountability. It's about empathy. We have to unlearn the colonial mindset that tells us we can take and imitate and perform someone else's culture without listening to the people who actually live it. That mindset didn't come from us. It was taught, but we can unlearn it. We must unlearn it. So, to the people defending the parade without listening, ask yourself why. Ask yourself why it's so hard to say, I didn't know this was wrong, but now I do, and I'll do better. That is not weakness, that is growth, that is strength. And to the people attacking others instead of educating, remember, anger is valid, but education builds the future. We need both. We need passion and patience. We need fire and wisdom. At the end of the day, the Zulu Parade controversy isn't just about one event in New Orleans. It's about how we see each other, how we value each other, how we engage with the idea of home. For Black Americans, the desire to reconnect with African culture is real and it's beautiful, but it has to be done with respect, with openness, with humility. This is a chance to do it right. So let's not waste it. And maybe, just maybe, if we stop arguing long enough to really hear each other, we can start building the unity we always talk about. Not fake unity, not hashtag unity, but real, honest, painful, healing unity. Because that is what our ancestors deserve. That is what our children need. And that is what we as Black people across the world have the power to create if we choose. Anyway, guys, let me know what your thoughts are on the comment section, and also remember to subscribe, like, and share as well. And until next time, bye bye.